Hello and welcome to the Re-Ride. The question writers don't usually like it when we waste all of their precious questions on just one player, but I say to hell with them. Are you new to the Re-Ride? The team will be pleased. They are quite tired of having to spell everything out to all those newbies. In case you forgot, here are your buzzers. Before you go, please be aware that this is a non-profit fan project in no way associated with Jackbox Games. You are now ready for the Re-Ride. I wish you the very best of luck.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide. This episode of The Re-Ride is brought to you by Barry's Historical Beard Balm. Grow a mane like Karl Marx or a goatee like Gandhi. Distinction through facial hair, one follicle at a time. And here's your host, the head honcho of useless trivia, Conan Blankenberg.
Welcome aboard, team player. So, you're all about sharing discoveries, glory, and radiation burns alike. Nothing screams team spirit like synchronized trips to the oncology ward. Just make sure your group photo is taken with a short exposure. Remember, if you start glowing in the dark, at least you'll never need a nightlight again. The eyes of history are on you tonight. Can you handle the pressure and become the greatest to ever play this game? Probably not. Let's ride. Okay, we need some money to play for. Nope, here's what we're dealing with. Getting healthy at horrifying scales. You ever tried to lose weight? The scariest thing about it is stepping on the scale every day. Suppose you buy a Muda scale to convince yourself you actually are losing weight. If you step on the scale and it reads 1.0, what have you lost? Control of your bowels, your ability to see color, a massive amount of blood, or your hearing. Based on an extremely bloody 1992 match between the great Muda and Hiroshi Hase, the Muda scale is used by pro wrestling fans to measure the amount of bloodshed in a wrestling match. And while losing massive amounts of blood isn't a particularly effective way to lose weight, it is a surprisingly effective way to lose everything else. Come on, big. Here's what we have to offer. Goat Simulator. As much as I enjoy watching sports on TV, the one thing I can't stand is the endless time spent debating who's the greatest athlete of all time. There's just too many variables between different sports to properly compare them, but maybe I can offer a solution. Suppose you can only be considered the GOAT if you come from the country where the earliest known domesticated goats came from. Who would be eligible for the debate? An Iranian wrestler, a Kenyan distance runner, a New Zealand rugby player, or a Japanese baseball player? That is a GOAT answer right there. The earliest evidence of domesticated goats comes from villages in Iran about 9,000 years ago. But honestly, we all know the real goats are the people who have to clean up the mess sports fans leave, demolishing their entire cities after their teams engage in the vile crime of, winning a thing in sports. Am I right, Philly? Alright,
Bingo.
There was a man who was the best at everything he did. G-R-E-A-T, G-R-E-A-T, G-R-E-A-T. Too bad he's a piece of shit.
Welcome to Great. Remember to buzz in when you see the first letter of the correct answer light up if you want to win some money. Collect all 5 letters to win the bonus. Ready to play some bingo? Alright, let's go. Big fancy cup that winners get. Trophy! The king of rock and roll. Thank you very much. Competitive gaming. Esports. The greatest Mongol warlord. Genghis Khan. Real Madrid-Barcelona soccer rivalry. American TV's greatest prize. Peter the Great, blank of all Russia. Tsar. Horse racing's top achievement. Triple Crown. Hollywood's greatest prize. Academy Award. Oceanic Wonder, the Great Barrier Blank. Reef. Great! Congrats, you win the bonus. Quick look at your current score in case you need more numbers in your life. Got enough? Yeah, me too. Hit your buzzer when you go. Nicely done. Here's what this one's called. Who, Doctor? Remember the Back to the Future movies and how Doc Brown always exclaimed, "Great Scott!" I always wondered what he meant by that. Who is not a great Scott? The lead singer of Creed, the composer of An American in Paris, the writer of the Star-Spangled Banner, or Stifler from the American Pie films. Scott Stapp sings for Creed, Francis Scott Key composed the Star-Spangled Banner, and Scott Stifler is, well, Stifler, but An American in Paris was composed by George Gershwin. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Shouts Great Scott and probably meant one of those, or some other Great Scott. Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, cool. And now it's time for a little question I like to call... You know what? I can't get this out of my head, and now that I think about it, maybe that's not what Doc Brown meant. Maybe he meant the Gordon Ramsay kind of Scott. So who's not a great Scott? Sean Connery, Gareth Bale, Robert Burns, or Gordon Ramsay? Gareth Bale is Welsh, not Scottish. But he's gotta be more than great if he's gonna carry the Welsh national soccer team. Pretty sure he's gotta be the greatest magician to ever walk this planet. Picky, pucker up 4. Okie doke, $27.91 goes to the first person who can give me a right answer to this question. Considering their species, which of these titular characters would be the most inspired by stories of Alexander the Great's famous siege of Megalopolis? Horton Hears a Who, Moby Dick, A Bear Called Paddington, or Stuart Little? Well, it's time to address the elephant in the room. Alexander the Great's army used elephants to besiege Megalopolis in 318 BC, and if Horton doesn't give up his pacifist ways and refuses to get in line with Alexander, there's gonna be some new ivory forks at dinner tonight. Come on, Smorf Grapple, Snoop and Doogie, Rag'n'Swinger. Uh-huh. Okay, well, it certainly looks like we'll be playing a... Oh, no way! Yes way, it's gibberish. It's a gibberish question, if that wasn't obvious enough. All right, then. Here's the actual category for this gibberish question. The Jack Zelda crossover you didn't know you needed. Remember, don't dawdle, because that cash is trickling down. Take a look at this special crossover gibberish phrase and tell me what famous saying it rhymes with. Nate finds Link a bike. Great minds think alike, but fools seldom remember that the saying ends with, but fools seldom differ. All right, thank you, and here is your category. Gatsby tea. You know how the book The Great Gatsby takes place in the villages of East Egg and West Egg? Well, according to LGBT slang, what would happen if Jay Gatsby, resident of West Egg... Great answer! Cracking one's egg is slang for the moment one realizes they're trans. And since this is a serious topic, I'm not gonna make any jokes about it. Hit your buzzer at the... Ah, that's pathetic. Here's your category. Great maths. Put on your thinking caps, it's time to go. How would you determine the breathtaking volume of the Great Pyramid? Subtract the sum of its mesmerizing sides from its magnificent height times 4, add its fantastical circumference to its stupefying surface area divided by 2, divide the product of its enthralling base area and its enchanting height by 3, or multiply its stunning length by its marvelous base area cubed. The volume of a pyramid is a third of the area of its base times its height. Shout out to the Sphinx, who gracefully donated this question to the program. Okay, I like to call this category... Well, there's no time like the present. Suppose Gonzo the Great leaves the Muppets to pursue a career in Gonzo journalism. How should he research a topic? Use lots of sweeping shots of nature, delve deep into politician scandals, question people by surprise, or jump in to get personal experiences instead of objective facts? Oh, yes, that makes me very happy. Hunter S. Thompson pioneered the genre of Gonzo journalism, characterized by a first-person narrative and a lack of objectivity. But if Gonzo really wants to emulate Thompson, he's gonna have to acquire a massive coke habit. Alright, we'll need some Your great moment has come. Here's your ticket to the history books. The Great Jack Attack. What kind of great stuff did they star in? Good luck. Here it is, the culmination of your efforts! Whoop-dee-doo. Pat yourself on the back, because no one else is here to do it.